The Chamber of Secrets. The Chamber of Secrets is the oldest concealed room in Hogwarts and the only one built directly by a founder. Salazar Slytherin constructed it deep below the castle nearly 1,000 years ago, after disagreements with the other founders about admitting Muggle-born students. The chamber was his contingency plan, a last resort he believed would one day purify the school according to his own beliefs. The chamber's entrance was originally hidden somewhere within the medieval plumbing system that existed long before Hogwarts' modern pipes. When the castle was renovated centuries later, workers unknowingly built sinks and drainage systems over the original entrance. This preserved the mechanism that opened it, Parseltongue spoken directly to the serpent engraving. The chamber itself contains a long network of stone corridors, water-filled channels, and a central hall dominated by a massive statue of Salazar Slytherin. Behind that statue is the Basilisk's lair, a space large enough for a fully grown serpent to hide, sleep, and move through the corridors that connect to Hogwarts plumbing. The Basilisk was created by Salazar himself using the dark ritual of hatching a chicken egg under a toad. Basilisks can live for centuries, and the chamber was designed to keep this one alive indefinitely. It could survive on minimal food, enter dormancy for long stretches, and use the castle's water flow to hydrate and move between pipes secretly. The chamber remained sealed until 1943, when Tom Riddle discovered it using his ability to speak Parseltongue. As the true heir of Slytherin, he opened the chamber during his 5th year, released the Basilisk, and murdered Myrtle Warren. He then framed Hagrid to protect his own identity. Before closing the chamber, Riddle used Myrtle's death to create his first Horcrux. Decades later, the chamber reopened when Riddle's preserved memory, hidden inside a diary, possessed Ginny Weasley. She released the Basilisk again, but because she panicked easily and didn't fully understand how to control it, no one looked the monster directly in the eyes. Every attack resulted in petrification rather than death. The Basilisk used the plumbing to travel the castle silently, leaving no trace. Harry eventually entered the chamber, killed the Basilisk, and destroyed the diary. But important details remain untouched. The Basilisk's corpse is still there, its venom still potent, its hide still infused with ancient magical properties, and its bones still valuable for spellcrafting. The chamber itself is fully intact. The only reason it remains closed is that Harry lost his Parseltongue ability after Voldemort's final defeat. With no known Parselmouths alive, the chamber has returned to being sealed exactly as Salazar intended. The Chamber of Secrets remains one of the deepest and least explored structures under Hogwarts. Much of its layout is unknown. The tunnels extend farther than anyone saw on page, and there are likely additional chambers students never reached. The chamber's full purpose, whether it was meant to house only one creature or an entire defense network, remains an unanswered mystery. The Room of Requirement. The Room of Requirement is the most versatile and unpredictable secret space in Hogwarts. Unlike the other hidden rooms that rely on passwords or obscure entrances, this one appears only under the right conditions. A person must walk past its blank wall on the 7th floor 3 times while focusing on a specific need. When that intention is clear enough, the wall opens and presents a room tailored exactly to the situation. What makes this room extraordinary is its ability to bend the rules of magic and architecture. It can produce environments far larger than anything that should fit inside the castle. Dumbledore's army used it as a fully equipped training facility, complete with targets, cushions, and spell-absorbing surfaces. At the same time, it can become a personal hideout, a makeshift hospital, or even a storage vault for thousands of forgotten objects. The Room of Hidden Things is the deepest and strangest version of it. When Harry saw this form, he described a space bigger than any hall in the castle, full of towering piles of objects discarded by students over centuries. These weren't just textbooks and brooms. The room held cursed items, broken magical experiments, banned potions, explosive spell remnants, and relics that would have gotten students expelled if discovered. Generations of Hogwarts history accumulated there because the room never cleans itself, it only hides. The Room of Requirement also displays a level of magical intelligence that suggests it is connected directly to Hogwarts itself. It responds to emotion as much as logic. If someone seeks safety, the room becomes a fortress. If someone seeks escape, the room creates multiple exits. If 2 people seek conflicting goals, for example, someone hiding from someone else, the room can refuse to open entirely. That's why it blocked Harry from finding Draco Malfoy during Half-Blood Prince. Harry's intention conflicted with Draco's. Another unusual trait is that the room obeys certain magical laws. It can conjure almost anything except food, which is restricted by Gamp's law of elemental transfiguration. It can provide shelter, clothing, tools, spellbooks, and even objects with enchantments, but not anything that breaks fundamental magical rules. The Room of Requirement remains one of the least understood creations in the wizarding world. No founder takes credit for building it, and no known spell can replicate its abilities. It might be an enchantment layered over centuries, or a natural magical phenomenon that the castle grew around. What is certain is that Hogwarts protects the room. It seals itself during danger, hides pathways leading to it, and changes its shape to prevent intruders from predicting its layout. It is a living part of the castle, one whose limits no one has ever recorded. The Restricted Section. The restricted section of the Hogwarts Library is one of the castle's most controlled spaces. It stands behind an iron gate visible to everyone, but only students with written permission from a teacher can enter. Even with a note, the librarian can deny access if she suspects the student intends to study material they're not prepared for. The books inside are dangerous in ways that go beyond content. Some whisper warnings when approached. Some scream when opened. Others are cursed so that reading them incorrectly can cause psychological damage. Many volumes store information related to dark rituals, lost branches of magic, ancient curses, soul manipulation, forbidden transformations, or powerful theoretical spellcraft. Books on Horcruxes were once kept here, locked behind enchantments because even reading about the subject can destabilize someone's mind. These weren't simply historical texts. Some contained instructions detailed enough for someone determined to misuse them. Hogwarts chose to lock these books away rather than destroy them, likely because the magical knowledge inside them was considered too ancient or too important to erase. The restricted section plays a strategic role in Hogwarts' overall protection. While the Room of Requirement hides objects and the chamber conceals a creature, the restricted section conceals information. Knowledge is treated as dangerous as any artifact in the school, and the castle ensures only qualified students or trusted staff can access it. It remains one of Hogwarts' most quietly dangerous rooms. The Forbidden Third Floor Corridor. The Forbidden Third Floor Corridor is one of the few examples of Hogwarts deliberately transforming a section of the castle into a classified high-security zone. Dumbledore didn't hide this corridor with illusions or shifting walls. He used a simple locked door and an explicit warning of a most painful death to keep students away. The warning was dramatic, but the danger behind the door was real. This entire section of the castle was repurposed to protect the Philosopher's Stone after Nicholas Flamel moved it to Hogwarts for safekeeping. Instead of creating one hidden chamber, the staff built a multi-layered security gauntlet. Each room in the corridor held a protective enchantment contributed by a different Hogwarts professor, effectively turning the third floor into the most magically fortified area in the school at the time. The first room held Fluffy, the three-headed dog placed there by Hagrid as a living guard. Beyond that were enchantments designed to target intruders who weren't prepared or qualified. Devil's Snare reacted to panic and lack of knowledge. The Flying Key Chamber responded to precision and magical awareness. The Enchanted Chessboard tested bravery and strategy. The Potion Puzzle required logic under pressure. Every room filtered out a different kind of threat: brute force, ignorance, impatience, or impulsiveness. What makes the corridor notable isn't the obstacles themselves, but what they reveal about Hogwarts. Dumbledore and the professors didn't build these rooms from scratch. They adapted existing spaces, layering temporary enchantments on top of the castle's original architecture. It shows how quickly Hogwarts can reshape itself when needed. Walls can be repurposed, rooms can be sealed off, routine corridors can become classified zones overnight. The stone's protection lasted only a few months, and once its purpose ended, the enchantments were removed and the third floor returned to normal use. But during that time, it operated as a fully functional secret wing of the castle. Not an ancient relic, not a hidden chamber passed down through generations, but a modern example of Hogwarts responding directly to a threat. The Forbidden Third Floor Corridor stands out because it proves that the castle's secrets aren't always old. Sometimes they're built on the spot, disguised in plain sight, and dismantled as soon as their mission is complete. It's one of the clearest examples of Hogwarts acting as both a school and a fortress, depending on what the moment demands. Trick staircases and concealed doorways. Hogwarts' architecture produces more secret spaces than any deliberate design. The castle constantly shifts its internal layout, creating new rooms and passages while sealing others without warning. These structural changes come from centuries of layered enchantments, repairs, and the castle's own semi-sentient nature. The moving staircases are the most recognizable example. Hogwarts contains more than 140 of them. many with unique quirks. Some rotate to different floors, some shift during specific times of day, and others move only when a particular student steps on them. The Marauders recorded dozens of these patterns, but even they couldn't map the staircases permanently because the routes changed too frequently. One of the most notorious features is the trick step on the second floor, a collapsing stair that traps a person's leg inside it. Filch kept a list of these defective steps, but they changed locations often enough that even staff didn't trust the list. Many students learned to jump over entire steps out of habit. Hogwarts also contains staircases with hidden landings. Near the Ravenclaw corridor, one staircase reveals a small triangular platform only when a certain stone is pressed. When the wrong stone is stepped on, the landing simply doesn't appear. These landings often connect to small alcoves or storage spaces that exist only temporarily. Concealed doorways function the same way. Some doors refuse to open unless a specific action is performed, such as tapping a stone or giving the handle a precise twist. Others open unpredictably based on timing or mood. The sticky door on the fourth floor is magically glued shut one day a week. Another door in the dungeons occasionally turns into a solid wall, forcing reroutes through different corridors. Hogwarts also has doors that appear only under specific mental or emotional conditions. One third-floor door leads nowhere unless approached with the right mindset, a phenomenon documented by multiple students over the years. It isn't connected to the room of requirement. It's simply a piece of castle magic reacting to a person's state of mind. Hidden rooms appear and disappear behind the shifting walls as well. Filch discovered a storage space filled with decades-old school records that vanished days later. The Marauders map once labeled a hallway not currently there, indicating the castle temporarily removed it. This kind of spontaneous change is a normal part of Hogwarts' function. These shifting staircases and doorways aren't products of dark magic or Founder-era secrets. They're side effects of the castle being built on centuries of enchantments that accumulate and merge over time. Every protective charm, repair spell, architecture-altering enchantment, and emotional imprint from past students contributes to Hogwarts' living magical structure. This is why the castle is constantly generating new secret rooms, recesses, hidden landings, and short-lived passageways. Some exist for years, others disappear after a single night. Some are mapped only once and never seen again. Hogwarts is not just a building with hidden areas. It's a building that creates them as part of its nature, making the entire castle a continuously shifting network of concealed spaces.